out and change the head gaskets at the same time.
Well, no, now we got the RTV epidemic though, because I mean you can call that Subaru. That's the flat.
Oh yeah, all
engine.
the squeeze out getting sucked up into the pickups
And we're live.
Oh,
It's 8 o'clock, guys.
I was going. I was being
Doing
a
a
flat.
Zoidberg?
I was being a, no, I'm a flat engine. I'm a
No,
boxer.
you're being a Zoidberg.
I'm a
Sorry, I had to turn off the Def Globe.
All right. Hey guys, we're Pints
I'm
and
too
Pistons.
old for this shit.
Hi, guys.
Welcome. Let me switch over so we can see if we got anybody in chat. We got 3 viewers. Old School Garage, what's going
Hi,
on?
Mike.
Hello, Mike.
So,
Well,
so anyways, we're Pints and Pistons. That's what happens.
That's Brian.
On a normal night with us.
Oh, you missed Brian last
There's-
Saturday.
What are we supposed to talk about tonight? Can you recall?
Pints and
Oh,
Pistons.
oh, no.
It's in the name, Chris.
Cards.
No.
Pints and Pistons.
We did.
Okay.
We did throw it out to.
We did to the public
to the public, and we
Public.
got a couple answers back
for some topics.
for some topics.
Yes.
So yeah, was pretty excited about that. And actually, Mike was one of them that
Yes.
brought up a really good one that I think we might have talked about before, but not as much.
Well, it never hurts to touch on
Oh,
anyway.
yeah, because you
our
always remember
opinions
new
always
ones.
change too. You know,
Right.
we've been doing this for a few years now. Like,
A few. So we're almost 5 years now.
God, has it
That's
been
a
that
few.
long?
a 5-year.
No, that's a couple.
It's a fortnight.
We're almost four
Is this
scores
weird
and
hipster
7.
video
We're
game?
almost scores. We're almost at scores.
is this
Yep.
weird hipster video game shit? That
No,
I'm-
no, no, no,
No,
no,
it's
no, no.
scientific.
Like the English term, a fortnight.
I'm just checking.
4 scores and 7 years ago. That was 10 years, right? I don't
Maybe
know.
more.
How many is a score?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know because
Well, sure.
apparently there was 4 of them, and then 7 years. So is that 47 years, or is that?
I don't know.
It's kind of sounding like you're wanting homework, and I was not told there would be homework.
Right.
Off-topic thoughts.
I didn't know
with
we were
Pints
doing
and Pistons.
math work tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You want me
Well,
to get
you
a
know what?
game?
I had to do training for a certain manufacturer recently that made me do a freaking equation to divide the kilowatts per hour to figure out how much more a power bill would be for an EV vehicle in your household. That was my test, Chris. I got a test from Kia, and I had to do math with
You
it.
said the name.
I did. I don't care.
It was from Hyundai.
Kia made me do math. They
Yep.
made me do math.
Yep.
I had to take it, and it was not fun. But I had to figure out that for the person's driving, it was equivalent to paying $1.16 per gallon for fuel.
With how much more the EV costs, that's not a big savings,
Oh, not to mention if you want to get the thing installed at your house.
right?
So for unsaid manufacturer that I know somebody who works for, wink wink, I got somebody got a phone call. Yeah, I got a phone call. Anyway, this guy was asking about an at-home charger and told me he lived in 55-plus community, and it was all trailers, and he didn't know if he could just install it or not, and I told him what he needed to do, and he just started yelling at me. And he's like, I can't believe a manufacturer would sell a car that's not easy enough to access these things and whatnot, and going on. What if my house can't be compatible with that kind of electricity? And blah, 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 and what if it's deed restricted and I can't have it because of where I live? And just, I'm
Well,
like,
sir,
well,
you
hey.
should have checked with that before you bought the
and
car.
that's
Don't
what I
know what
told
I
the
That sounds
guy.
more like a you problem than an us problem.
That's
Right.
what I told
Don't
the
know
guy.
what I came out to, but de-restricting.
You know, EV charging crap, because it's becoming a more common thing that I'm getting asked about
Yeah.
from customers, and it's just like you have to fill out an application and have an electrician inspect your house and la da 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 da.
Well, I'm gonna
da,
pick the
and-
first beer.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Mike
So,
Mike
well-
wants to know if you got the information he asked you about.
Did I not text you? I am so sorry. I need to text
Where
you.
did you put
Yes, I
your
did,
one
Mike.
That you two both brought. I
think-
know
I
where
think-
I know where I put yours.
Okay, well, mine should be in that same spot.
I think mine might be sitting in there just on the counter.
No,
Mine-
Sabrina put it
Mine,
away.
mine will have, mine will have the
which
dents
one.
on the
Yeah,
bottom.
I know. That's what I'm trying to do.
And-
Either
and-
way,
And Mike, I don't know, and Chris actually would probably be able to answer this. I don't know if our scanners can do, the air bleed procedure on an HECU. They have to do with like the KDS.
yeah.
Can ours do Hyundais or no?
No.
Okay, you're gonna have to go to Hyundai, Mike. So That's the only way you're going to be able to, because there is an air bleed, like it's something like that you have to do through the
Yes.
scanner. I don't know, like 100%. I vaguely know, and Chris knows too. And so you're going to have to go to Hyundai to have them do that procedure, and then go from there.
That's dumb.
What?
That you guys can't do Hyundai shit.
No, it's everybody assumes that everything's the same, but it's not.
Well, it is. It's the same exact part. They have the same exact tablets. It's just the program is slightly different, and we're locked out of Hyundai.
Correct.
Yeah.
Our tablets won't access the Hyundai VIN.
Correct.
Yeah, which is dumb.
Well, it's
You
kind
can
of
you used to be able to get around it by inputting the similar year, make, model in Kia.
Sorry, Chris, yours wasn't as cold because it was left out and then finally put in.
Either
So
way.
we're doing the chance. Sorry, these might go kaboom. Like that.
Why did that do that?
Because it's dented in the bottom.
The bottom of the can is dented.
Because Crutch Guy had a moment.
It's fine.
Crutch guy had a moment.
Crutch Guy had a moment.
Did the cans become your crutches?
No, they substituted me fighting gravity.
Fair enough.
It was either me fight gravity or something in my hand fought gravity.
It's
Well,
because
as
he
my dad always
tried
says,
to-
gravity's hell and it always wins.
I told him the door's open, come on in. He tried to knock or something like that, and
But Chris, is it just a matter of a login, or is the software completely different?
The software is different.
Okay. Because, see, that's like the cool thing about me is I just get a different login and I can look up that stuff because we have another store that gave me their login.
I'm very excited for this one because Dan, well, I'm very excited for you, Dan, to
Yeah, 'cause-
see this one. Well, to try this one because us three tried it and on
And
Saturday.
I had completely forgotten that it was one of the ones that we tried at the beer
Oh, I
festival.
did not.
Okay, well, I did.
Because I tried it 4 times.
Okay, well, I did.
I actually had this in my fridge before we went to Beer Fest.
Really?
Well,
I
was-
bought these. I bought the 3 that I brought like 2 weeks ago.
Well, I was at Pine Street a couple of days ago and had those amazing frickin' tacos, and this was on tap. So I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna have that. And then I got the tacos, and I will say that this with the tacos, money.
Yeah.
I
So
also
good.
have
Ripped
to.
it.
I also have to apologize for the people on TikTok because on our TikTok video I said that it was 4.6. Well, 4.5 to 4.6. No, this is a 6.1, which might be
that's
why
medium.
when I had 4 of them, I couldn't feel my face.
It is a little cloudy.
Citrus Grove, Tampa Bay Brewing Company, a tangerine and orange fruited blonde ale.
Like the bubbles are having a hard time rising.
I know, but smell it. It's
It's got sniffers?
it's got sniffers.
The nose plays.
VQ. Sorry.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the surface tension on them bubbles, man.
It's faint, but it does smell good. Maybe I need to just get it a little more.
I think my glass might be slightly different from everybody else's
Ooh, that smells.
because I'm literally rimming it.
I am
We're all
too.
rimming it.
Oh, I'm
We're all
like
rimming it.
right at the lip.
I'm in the
Oh,
princess
once
chair,
once-
so I'm far back.
Once this little bit, actually, I think I might.
I gotta. I'm
So-
gonna
so-
have to lean over and sip
when
it.
that thing
Sorry,
goes.
guys, we're gonna have
We
to
can't
sip
clink on this
before we
one.
clink.
Yeah.
But,
I can make that.
I
cut.
well,
no. He said I
Chris.
No.
Where does mine end?
I know. I'm
Where does
kind
his
of
glass end?
experiencing
No,
the
no,
same
no,
Chris's
exact
is
thing.
slow.
Hold on.
Oh god, he's going back in.
We can see Chris's.
Ah!
I can see the edge of Chris's glass. I can see the edge of Brian's glass. Look at mine.
I can't see. Yeah, right here the foam is
you're-
Like
Oh,
if I
I'm-
went,
the
it was
foam
no,
is
No,
sitting
I
on
can
the
tell
edge.
yours in the back. Yours in the
here's
back.
the thing.
It's because the bar.
Okay.
If you bumped it and it spilled out of his glass, would that be a party foul on him or on
Drink
you?
it quick, Mike.
He
Just
poured it.
Shut up. Just drink
Oh,
it.
that's true. You guys.
I'm not having that happen.
Oh my.
oh yeah.
What? Oh, pungent.
You know that's got a lot more peel in it than it did at Brewfest.
Oh, because there's just a lot.
That's got a
more.
lot going on. Cheers, gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Well,
you.
I also think it's because
Cheers,
we,
boys.
had,
Cheers,
we
boys.
didn't
Cheers,
have the
boys.
full thing. Even though they were pouring out of these.
Yeah. We didn't get the full pour.
Yeah, we
Right.
didn't get
And
the full pour.
I will say, confirm this.
That's very yummy. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Yes. That's what's yummy too.
Oh.
Yeah. This is exactly how it is on draft too.
Oh man. That's really
that
orangey.
is proper right there.
That's why I had 4 of them.
I feel like
when
that's
I was-
got.
there
I don't remember it being that flavorful
I think
It-
you
it is
got to it
flavorful.
later in the night.
Maybe.
I skipped around, and that was my second one. Was that?
I think that was like my 5th or 6th one. and
Exactly.
my flavor profiles might
You
have been
were
a
gone
little
by that
muted
point.
by that point. So,
Oh.
Tampa Bay Brewing Company, Citrus Grove. We've had citrus beers from them before,
We've had
and
other
they're
beers from them.
always on
Oh, yeah.
point.
I'm trying
And
to
this
figure-
is on point. A very strong orange. Like, you really taste the orange, and there's just a little bit of
Okay.
sweetness from the mandarin oranges.
Yeah, that it's like the
Or
it's like the
tangerine.
innards of the tangerines and straight up 100% orange peel on the
Yes.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
But
not.
the great thing is, it tastes like actual.
Oh, it tastes like it's
squeeze.
all one fruit.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
actual squeeze juice, not like concentrate.
Correct.
Or like store bought one. It
I
literally
dude, I
tastes
bet
like
they
that.
have huge vats full of them. like
Oh,
just
yeah.
Yeah.
That is really good.
that is really really good.
Yeah, like I said,
but
so what-
Tampa Bay Brewing, I don't think has ever let us down though, have they?
Not yet.
Yes, the Ginji.
Oh yeah, true.
That one was
the
rough.
Genji was kind of
And that was the
That
one you
was-
brought.
that.
that-
Yeah. Well, it's always the one.
Yeah. Wait a minute, I brought that one.
What?
You
which
brought
one
the
was it?
Genji?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I brought the Genji.
Oh, yeah.
Because somebody else had.
Shame.
Yes, I know.
Shame.
That was but it's not Michelob
Heard
Ultra
suspect sounds.
organic.
That was my ass farting.
Oh,
I'm trying to remember what the Genji was.
that's what that was.
It was a ginger something
Type Imperial Stout.
with ginger, and it was.
It was rough.
Oh
It was rough. I remember it now. It was like ginger, dark stout.
Yeah,
that
it was
like
it was
Yeah.
Imperial Stout.
Chris,
gingery,
like
it
the
was almost like
you should have seen your face.
It was-
the
yeah.
realization dawned on me, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
So
I
it was like
remember
coffee
that.
grounds, but like actual coffee grounds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
it was
ginger.
that one was
It was not good.
really rough.
It
And
was not.
that was me. I did that.
I have a thing. Cars.
Cars?
Yes.
We
That's
gonna
the
talk
other
about
thing
cars?
that we do.
Yeah, let's do like what somebody had recommended us talk about.
Okay.
One thing, something, anything.
I got to give it to Mike on this one because I posted it on TikTok and he was one of the first people to comment on it. And actually, we got a couple comments on that post on TikTok. So thank you, everybody. Also, if you're watching this and you aren't following us on TikTok, we are just about at 1,000 followers on TikTok. Once we do, we are able to go live and that. So, guys, pump it out to your friends. I try to do stupid shit on there as much as I can. Brian chimes in. Everybody chimes in. We're trying to make it enjoyable and that. But
I think it's
we
quite
just-
enjoyable.
We
You-
just
you
need
were-
100 more people, and
You were actually like really good at doing the TikTok edits
Hold on.
and everything. To be
you
honest,
know why?
Just to
Because
say.
most of the time I'm drunk.
Hey, wait a minute. What other TikTok are you going to find a one-legged dude driving multiple manual transmission cars?
we need you doing the four wheeler. We need that to happen.
Yes,
well,
we do.
see, but the thing is he's gonna have to do that, then somehow send it to me, or I'm gonna have to go over there, or one of us is gonna have to go over
One
there.
of us got to go over there and do it.
Yeah, 'cause
Because the one thing is when he posts it from, because he's able to post it, because Brian doesn't have social media or anything downloaded.
Last of the Mohicans, baby.
So he does it through the computer and that.
And you
but
can't edit.
do the hashtags, you can't edit or anything like that.
Yeah,
so, which I'm surprised because that BMW blinker one that you did actually ended up getting like 600-700 views on it with no tags at all. So
Yeah,
that's
which
actually
kinda
pretty
blew my
good.
mind.
That's actually pretty good. Like, yeah, no, once I saw all that.
Maybe it
but-
was because I said, more elusive than Sasquatch.
I don't know. But anyway, follow us on there. So what Mike said was factory racers.
I've got a slightly.
There is a lot
I've
of
got a
them.
slightly obscure one for you.
I have one that instantly pops into my head, and everybody
What are you
thinks
talking about, like homologation cars?
Well,
What do you mean
well,
by factory races?
something that was made so you could buy it
To go fast?
and go racing. Instantly, I think of the the ACR Neon, the
Yeah.
original ACR Neon,
Yeah.
I have a very obscure one.
because
but
I absolutely
I do
love
too.
that. thing.
mine is, yeah, I think.
You got
Ours might be the same.
well,
no, doubt it.
I-
Highly doubt it.
like I always like you got all the Mustangs and all that stuff, but like that ACR Neon, the original one, where you were able to get in. If you got into 4-door, you actually got the single overhead can versus the dual overhead can that you got in the coupe, and that. But still, you had dual overhead wonderful, wonderful car. Even though it was a front wheel drive platform, it was almost a 50-50 weight distribution.
It was a bolt-in cage away from being an SCCA.
And that's all it
car.
needed was a bolt-in cage that you could buy from Dodge.
Yeah.
Literally buy it from the dealership, bolted in. You could go SCCA racing, and there was a whole entire class for it.
It was really awesome. Literally,
Literally, track spec.
They really did some cool stuff with
Like,
the
literally, you throw
They
in
really
some
did.
Ferodo pads or some endless pads or something like that, and you throw on a set of tires.
Oh,
Some 200 treadwear tires, and bam, race car.
And they were great. They were still, even with them being in that spec, they were great daily drivers. You still got great fuel economy out of them. You had AC, you had heat. You didn't lose, even though it being a factory built racer, you didn't lose your everyday
It had a
creature.
little less sound deadening. It
Yeah,
had manual
but you were
windows,
still
manual
able
locks.
to, if you wanted to, have it as your quick daily.
Yeah,
Okay.
it could daily.
like 1 second neon tangent.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I love neon.
On Bring a Trailer right now, there's a very weird neon. It's a 97 neon, a Plymouth neon, signed by the Green Bay Packers in whole of 1997. And the car's green, and the whole trunk was signed with gold Sharpies by the entire Green Bay Packers of 1997, and the car was given away by a casino. Like, the story is so weird. Anyway, Chris,
Why?
I want to know yours.
Why? No, you just opened up a bag of words.
Go on,
Why?
go on,
Hang
bring
on,
a trailer and read it.
Hold on, though. Neon is basically a mini Mopar,
Yeah?
and Mopar people, and they're a little different. They're cool. Don't get me wrong, Mopar people are cool, but they're a little bit different. So, in that context, is a green neon signed by the Green Bay Packers in gold Sharpie given away by a casino really all that weird?
Does it have pink pinstriping? Then it's not weird enough.
It's just green on the outside. It's automatic. It's got like 14,000 miles on it, I think, or something like that.
Because in those
And-
days, I don't know if y'all remember, but
I do- the-
Chrysler dealerships were doing the weird
That wavy
color
shit, too.
combinations. Like, you could buy a pink neon with blue pinstripes on it for no reason. So mine, it's in the exact same vein. The kit is built for SCCA, a specific class. You buy a brand new car from the dealership, order the kit through the parts department, you assemble it, and boom, you have a factory race car ready to go. The Kia Rio. There is a spec Rio class in SCCA, or at least there was.
Yeah, there used to be.
And through Kia, you could order the base model Rio, and at the same time order the Kinetic Motorsports racing package.
Which is actually a cool little package, too.
It's suspension, AC delete, roll bar, bigger oil pan,
And then they do no-
upgraded cooling.
Didn't they do no radio, too, even, I think?
Yes, they had
Yeah.
a radio delete panel and a couple like different things you deleted in the interior. You strip out the carpet, you strip the seats out, you put the roll cage in, you put the bigger oil pan on, the bigger radiator on, and do whatever else you're gonna do for deletes, and boom, you're spec racing.
Huh.
The
Yeah,
kit
yeah,
was
yeah.
like $14,000, and at the time, a Kia Rio base model was like $13,000. So for under $30,000, you have a race ready car.
Huh. Didn't
Oh,
know
wheels
that.
and tires. That's the other thing that
Yeah.
came with it, because base model Rio came with 14-inch steels.
Yeah.
But
You sure?
boom, factory race car.
I'm itching to know yours, though.
You will.
Oh, I got others that we can
Oh, there's.
talk about.
I'm
too.
sure there are
All
so
right, well,
many that he's
this,
about to list off.
This one's my highlight. The Skoda.
Skoda.
Yeah, thank you. Skoda Fabia R2, which you can order one from a Skoda dealership, and it is a rally spec ready rally car. Comes cage complete, everything with a VIN that you can title in the street for $35,000.
Nice. What's the power plant?
It's the Skoda 2. The Skoda. I keep saying Skoda. It's the Skoda
2
2 liter.
It's almost like a
it's
Fiat.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
350 wheel horsepower to all four wheels. And like I said, it comes cage, seats, everything. Has a VIN number. You can title it and everything.
So my car is actually a third gen Camaro. Called the 1LE.
Ah,
Two
yes.
flavors. Now 1LEs came in two flavors, 305 or 350. But they were solid roof, no T-tops, manual windows, AC delete, radio delete, basically all power delete, minimal or no sound deadening, and there was a few other small things. They had different suspension on it. They had like a heavy-duty suspension package. They had a different brakes, and this and that. And it was one of those that it was never
Get in on that
advertised.
little thing.
Enduro.
The thing is, this thing was, they were never advertised. And I remember reading a story in Road and Track about a dealership who was going through, just putzing around one day, and one of their race car buddies was looking for a Camaro to build a race car with, and they started going through all of the option codes, and they found it, and they were kind of known about it. It's like, if you knew, you knew.
knew,
But if
yeah.
you didn't, no one was going to tell you about it. But this one dealership managed to get 5 of them.
Wow.
3 350s and 2 305 cars. But they were all, like I said, they were lightened up, slightly different suspension, like I said, a lot of delete stuff on them, and they were all solid roofs, no
Well,
T-tops, nothing
Yeah,
like that.
that's like the newer Camaro, that Z28, the one they had on Top Gear, that
Yeah.
came with the carbon brakes and it came with a roll cage and everything.
Scaffolding in the back.
Scaffolding. in the back.
Scaffold. Yes.
But
No,
no,
You
well,
pick up a date, you have to explain. Why is the scaffolding in the back of the car?
I think the Evo 8 RS was
yeah.
another one that came roll down windows, sound deadening, like delete, no AC and everything.
Well, when you think back to with the Fords, you have the '93 Cobra R, and even though there was only 107 of them built, it was the
Race ready.
Cobra, but it was no sound deadening, just a car with no radio, nothing, and you
I believe
had
those were also 351s, too.
Yes.
no,
What?
no, the '93s were
Oh,
5
90
liters, the
93, sorry. I thought you were
'95s
talking
were
about-
351s, they were the 5.8s, and
Yeah.
those they did 250 of. But with those, with the 95s, you had to have
And had SCCA license to get one.
SCCA license in order to have
And
one.
we've seen one. We have
Yep.
laid our eyeballs on one.
Yeah, well, I've seen one before I met you at Fantasy of Flight, one of my first years going, and the guy drove it there, and it had 120,000 miles on it. A lot of it was from racing, but a lot of it was just because he wanted to drive it, and he drove it on the street everywhere.
And that was like the guy that we met at Silver Springs
Yep.
at the NPD show.
And
that was a
well,
guy
that one
he
he had
also-
like 48,000 miles
but
on
it
it,
was-
which
most
was
of
low
it was
miles,
track-
but still.
Most of it was track miles, so still a good amount
Well,
of it was
because
also
he,
street
he
miles.
had that 95 Cobra R, but then he also had the 2000 Cobra
Yeah.
R that had like 30,000 miles. And you're like, oh my god, the 2000 Cobra R has 30,000 miles? He's like, yeah, because 20,000 of them I've been racing in SCCA.
Yeah.
And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, since 2004 I started SCCA racing in it and just did that. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, so this guy had both of them, and he drove them on the street too. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ford Racing has been doing since the S197s. You could order from the Ford Racing Performance catalog a
Track car.
factory-built track car.
Yep.
No VIN.
The S197s, no VIN. So the 05 to 09s, it was a no VIN. I think they called it the Shelby GT.
No, that was actually, those cars were built by Shelby, and they were road cars. It was a
No, there was one.
500 RS or some shit like
No,
that.
that's what it was. The
Yeah.
RS.
Yeah,
The Shelby GT350 RS.
There was
So
also,
there was the GT350 RS, and then there was the 500 RS.
Yeah.
So the RS was racing special, and they were non-VIN plated track cars.
and you did not buy those from the sales floor. You went to the back and you bought those over the parts counter.
Yes, you ordered them through the parts counter, and then
Same-
they did the same thing with the S550 when it came out. You ordered the S550, and it was a body in white that they hand built, and it was still a five liter, the 5-liter Coyote engine, but it was a blue printed Coyote engine.
It was
that
like it was almost like an Illuminator.
yes, but they wouldn't let them have the Voodoo engine
No.
Yeah.
for that car.
And also, it was the same thing, the Cobra Jet cars. Those were the same thing. Those were also no-VIN cars, and they were set off to the side and built on a body in white, and those were also just a Ford Racing part number.
And what was
with no
the
VIN,
what was the Challengers they did? I think it was a drag pack. They literally called it the drag pack.
Yeah,
The drag pack?
and you got that through the Direct Connection dealers.
Correct.
Yeah.
So just like with the Copo Camaros.
Yeah, and you got your Miata Club Sports too. Don't forget
Yeah.
about those.
Yep.
Ready to race little Miata carts.
And I mean, not really sold as a race car, but there was a whole series built around
Rental
Nissan-
cars.
The Nissan,
Oh, sorry.
the Nissan Micra.
Yeah.
Oh, the Micra. That was the fastest car I ever drove because it was a rental car.
The fastest car you will
Every
ever
car
drive
is
is a rental car.
Every rental car is the fastest car you ever drove. That Nissan Sentra I drove down here that one time, fastest car in the world.
It was just great
Oh my
because
God.
it was manual and it just red lines. Yeah!
Because it wasn't yours.
Rule number 1 of a rental car:
Always get the insurance.
it ain't mine.
Don't be gentle. It's a rental.
But
And
always
when
get the insurance.
Then I learned about like the radar laws over there in Ireland. Like they have to do it in certain spots. Like you can see the sign, then like it's like 100 something feet. Like I got time to slow down. I'm driving however fast I want everywhere, and everywhere that car saw stop or go, and that was like full throttle, just spinning the
So,
tires.
The accelerator has 2 positions: on and off.
78 furious horsepower.
So you were full on Ultima driver at that point.
with a Nissan, yeah, and it was a Nissan.
Basically.
it was.
You were full on just.
And you also kind of had to in that thing. It was really slow.
But that's the thing, slow cars fast.
I mean, I once did find out that the anti-lock brakes on a piece of shit Chevy Cavalier Chevy Cavalier that was actually a nearly brand new car. Yeah, you could actually make the ABS work in those things.
It would fry the pads, but you made it work.
Okay, so the smoke coming out of the wheels when I was done was not intentional, but hey, allegedly.
Allegedly.
In Mexico.
No, it's been 25 years at that point. So.
Right.
Statute of limitations.
Also, two-wheel drive Jeep Liberties are actually decent for ripping through the forest. Allegedly.
Diesel Jeep Liberties are actually fantastic as well.
This was allegedly a two-wheel drive,
Ah,
and there was
two-wheeler.
allegedly a little, and on more than one occasion, there was allegedly a little bit of distance between the tires and the dirt.
It happens sometimes.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, the best rally racer is the rental car.
Oh my God, this kid I went to high school with had a Kia Rio Cinco manual,
Nice.
and he bought pucks for a Chevy Silverado and made them fit and lifted this thing. You remember that, the blue
yes. Yes.
one? And he like drove it, and he lived over where I lived, which was all dirt roads and everything. And this thing was beat to shit.
Horrible.
And he had huge tires on it, and it was a manual and everything, and it was just
He thought he had a race car.
rally car.
Oh my god.
Okay.
It was the whole on thing.
Listen, a
of,
Kia
I have a
Spectre
race car.
5 is also a rally car.
Okay,
I
Mike,
know
I'm
this.
just going to counter that last statement with this. Any car is a race car if you race it.
I don't even. It was.
That's like
it
every
was done
machine is a
cheap.
smoke machine if you operate it wrong enough.
Exactly.
No, I know what car he's talking about, and I don't even know if you could consider it a race car.
It was,
or just
because he raced it.
No, he just drove it up and down the road, and it didn't fall
For that thing,
apart.
it was racing.
Surprisingly, it didn't fall apart too.
I know. You could hear it in the parking lot just going.
Please, kill me. Every moment I know is pain.
Kill me now, please.
Rio Cinco, the Rio station wagon.
Oh god, that thing was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Yep. Copo Camaro, Cobra Jet Mustang, Hemi Dart, no warranty, factory drag cars.
Yep.
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts, yep. Those things were. Oof. Those things were good.
I have actually seen one of those with my own eyeballs and heard the thing fire up. And
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Rowdy. Over the top.
There was somebody just posted a video of that on TikTok today. Thunderbolt firing up and warming up.
Mm.
No, we had one at our show.
Yeah.
And then somebody else also commented. I know it is another thing that we've talked about a lot. Hot hatches, and that.
We don't know anything about hot hatches.
No, we don't. We don't.
Hot hatches are great.
I wish I had a hot hatch.
So, but
I do need a hot hatch.
It's
Don't
one
you?
of
Don't
those.
you wish you had a hot hatch, Mike?
I've actually driven.
Did you
a
see
couple,
the back
I
of
have
my
actually
hatch,
driven a couple
though?
of hot hatches recently.
I'm getting that. Chris knows. I'm getting the Ford paint problem. I have a spot about that big now that the paint just fell off of, and it's all just
gone?
bare aluminum now.
It just falls off. Listen, Ford's got Ford does a lot of great
It's
things.
the exact
Unfortunately,
same
the
thing
paint
that-
job just sort of
that
falls off.
Sabrina and
sometimes.
him are.
Hey, I have no room to talk. Have you?
But yours
My
is
paint's
no,
evaporated.
Hey,
But at
yours
least
is
it's still
dissolving.
there.
My paint's
Yours is dissolving, not falling off.
Yours is dissolving like 1990s Ford paint.
Ours is just falling
Falling
off
off.
like 2000s Ford paint.
just in clumps, just like
But it's one of those. It ain't gonna rust because it's aluminum. It's just there. After a while. But no, but it's like what
Well,
you're.
I mean, he's
that-
technically correct because it's not ferrous material, but it will corrode and it will oxidize.
If I don't
That'll
do
happen.
something soon, that black fender on my car is gonna start rusting. It's already discolored really bad. I think I might just let it go.
Hey, do it right. Sticker bomb it.
I'm just gonna let.
Just get a bunch of just go on Amazon and order 10,000 stickers and just sticker bomb it all.
They sell them on eBay. They sell sticker bomb
Do you have
packages.
a silver Sharpie?
No, but I can
We
get
can
one.
buy one.
Bring it next time.
You're just
Okay.
gonna.
So he can go right on my fender.
Yeah.
I identify as red.
Identifies red.
If you did that, I would clear code that.
It's on.
He said it. You heard it.
I really would. That'd be
Well,
fantastic.
we got evidence.
I
Right,
honestly.
this is now immortalized on stream. You
I
can't
don't
deny it.
I don't
later.
It's
don't
on
have too many more intentions of making it look much prettier. I am soul set now on a turbo. I have it picked out and everything. I've already talked to my tuner. I've already got a plan, and I just have to wait like probably another year or two, and then I'm gonna buy it and do it. I don't know, maybe
You just
sooner.
decided full shit box.
Yeah, full shit box, and I'm doing the CST5. It's going to be about 27 pounds of boost. It put me at like 390-ish wheel horsepower.
How many pounds of boost are you at now?
23.
I was gonna say 23, 23. No.
Yeah, but this is going to be
That does have my
27
limit.
on a big turbo.
Oh,
though.
oh yeah. Okay.
And external wastegate, and I'm doing a screamer pipe out the fender.
I was gonna say because you have the same type of wastegate that I do. Where
It's
like
internal,
that-
yeah, I'm
that
doing-
in block.
Yeah,
type
this one's going to
deal.
be an external wastegate, and 27 psi. It's a what do you call it? Twin scroll.
Yeah.
And everything. Like the guy said, it's going to hit 25 psi by 3,000 RPM.
So you're gonna Elder Scroll it.
And then 390-ish wheel horsepower. I'll be over
How
400
much
horsepower.
torque at 2,500 you're gonna be or 3,500 you're
Yes.
gonna be looking at?
All of it.
Uh-huh.
Because I'll be about 390 wheel horsepower, and like
remember-
410-ish
You might
foot-pounds
wanna
of torque.
You might want to think about refreshing your bearings before you do that.
Oh no, I should be good. My
Well, I'm just saying, big torque at low-ish RPM is really.
No. Even now, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't. That's not a no. That's what kills those motors. Is people
yeah.
will be in super low RPM and full load the engine.
No.
No.
Oh
I-
god, no.
that's-
That's why.
I think it's one of the reasons why
we don't go from day.
Everybody, like every time, even though my car's a pile of crap, like when I go places where people know it and everything, they're enamored because I'm the only Mazda Speed 3 in the Tri-County area that hasn't blown up yet.
How long until races have blown up?
I don't know, man. I got a lot more miles than he
over
does.
here
though.
making 300 horsepower and doing whatever the hell I want to the car.
Sorry, Chris, your head gasket went.
See,
Huh?
I'm
Your
super
head
happy
gasket
with
went.
that too.
Yeah,
I
I know,
make
right?
I make 300 horsepower and I'm happy as shit too.
Me too.
Yeah, but I don't have to do things like you do. I can just beat the snot out of it, and it just goes, okay,
That's NA life, yeah.
and
Well, see, I have
wide
another
open
car-
throttle at 1,200 RPMs in fifth gear. Okay.
But see, I have another car for that where it's start it. Hey, I've been sitting for 4 months. Start it.
Start it up, do a cold start burnout.
Honestly, my CX-5, that not for nothing, that thing does spin first gear completely. First gear is non-existent in that thing, which is surprising. And I can do that with that, which is kind of nice. But
It's why I
it's
want to
not
build that
fast.
302 for the truck,
Exactly.
so I can have just a cold start burnout.
But
machine.
anyway, hot hatches though. So what do we know about it, Mike? He owns a hot hatch, and so do I.
They're good.
They're great.
I've driven a couple of them.
He's driven both of ours.
I've owned a lukewarm wagon.
I love that explanation.
I had a hatch.
I love that explanation, man.
Okay, so
I love it.
It wasn't a hot hatch.
Well,
it
no,
was a
hey,
lukewarm
no,
wagon.
hold on. Brian has owned the most hottest of hatch.
that's true. That is true.
Oh
Because it was on
That is
fire.
true. Nothing reaches higher temperature than a car with plastic fenders.
I gotta breathe. Stop.
Sorry, Brian. I had
We
to
broke him. Hey, we broke him. He's broken.
It's not the first time we've
He
done
did
that.
not expect me to go there, but all of a sudden I was thinking about it. I'm like, a CRX is a hatch. It was hot.
That one was hot.
His was the
Properly
hottest one.
Properly. But aside from that, I did have two other hatches, and I don't even know if I would describe them as lukewarm. They were just appliances that kind of went places. But the
Was
one
that
of
the
them,
Accord?
the
was it
Accord,
an
the
Accord
Accord
with
was
a hatch?
one of them, and the Tercel was the other one. The
Yeah,
Tercel was just a car.
I know,
Was-
but
was
the
my-
Accord was $100 Accord.
Was my MX? Is that my
The
MX3?
Tercel
Was that a
hey,
hatch? Was
the
that considered a hatch?
Yeah.
That was
The
a
Tercel
fantastic
was
car.
$125
Was it
plus a $50
3
CD
door or
axle.
5 door?
3-door.
That's a hatch.
Yeah, that car was. I mean, it wasn't fast, but for handling and everything, and honestly, fuel economy too. That car was amazing, and it was still fun to punch it in that thing. I loved that car, and I had so much stuff done to it. Like I had like the freaking JDM interior in it, everything, and all that, and
Well,
then I
shit, the
swapped
86
it.
is a hatch at that point.
I was about to say, I mean, technically,
It is
that's
a hatchback. It really is.
So that's a hot hatch, technically.
Typically hot hatches though, or front-wheel
Yeah.
drive. or
Yeah,
bigger
but
cars.
mine was a 5-door, so it wasn't a hot hatch.
Mine's
it was
a
a hot
5-door.
wagon.
Ours
It was a
are a
wagon.
five-door
we have
too. Come on.
But they call them hatches, though.
They're not wagons.
long-
All right, fine. Then I had a room temperature hatch
Yeah, okay, there you go.
because everything about that car was mid.
Yeah,
The eggs
that'll
never
do.
hatched, though.
Huh?
That'll do.
That'll do.
That'll
yeah.
do. Exactly. That was
The
that'll
only
do
thing
car.
that was no, I can't even say that
See, because ours
because
are,
it was a manual transmission, but it was the worst manual transmission. Like the shifter was a cable setup,
That'll do.
and it was just. That's a
Ours
gear, I think. And
Yeah,
then
but we
that
have
one back
clever
there,
weight
that one's a gear. The
things,
clutch
and
was
I have
very
an
much just
adjustable weight,
a
which mine's all
lever that
different.
actuated it.
Yeah.
There was
That'll do.
zero clutch feel to that car.
That'll do.
That car was so
we have
hard to
fluid
drive
clutches like
just
normal
because
people.
that clutch was just
No,
so
mine's my first
bland
one.
and
Fluid
unfeeling.
clutch.
I
I
love
normally
it.
have no. I
Oh.
like cable clutches better than fluid clutches.
Yeah, I'm starting to be able to not tell if it's wheel spin or clutch now. I can't smell anything, and the steering wheel's still moving, but I kind of like
So,
the
so
noise
you were
is
like
going
my
away.
stock clutch.
I
when
think I'm
it
getting
finally
there.
went,
I'm
"Hey."
almost at 150,000 miles.
Yeah, well, mine gave up during a trying to go from first gear to second gear, strapped down to a pad. So
No, I still do. The gears all still do gear things. That's good.
That was after it almost made poop come out.
I usually I flat foot shift if I'm getting into it anyway, because that is the fucking best. Not it's like it's basically like having an automatic. I don't lose boost whatsoever and stay in power band. It's so nice.
You
I do
have
that
one
too.
box?
It's
Or are you just really good at shifting it?
No, it's through Cobb.
Oh, your Cobb does
Yeah, it's
the
like-
flat foot shifting?
Yeah, it's like the guy I met who lives on the street over from me, who's got a Mustang, same body style as yours and whatnot. We ran, and I pulled him by like just about half a car, and then like he pulled behind me and everything. I'm like, man. He was like telling me he lives on the street over, friends now, blah blah blah, whatever. But he's like, dude, you didn't lift, and I said, yeah. I said, you're right. It's in my tuner, and he's like, that's fucking awesome. I was like, yeah, I don't drop boost. I stay right in boost, and there's no delay. It just keeps going and going and going.
see, mine does that. It's called rev limiter.
When I hit the rev limiter, fireballs and big black clouds pop out.
Mine too.
There's
except
nothing wrong
little
with
tiny, little tiny fireballs, and then this.
Well, the
Diesel!
well, the tiny fireballs suit you.
Yeah.
I had a guy ask me that last week, actually. I went to get gas.
Is your car diesel?
He did. He said, man, either that thing's a diesel or you just never wash it. And I said, I kind of wash it, but it's not a diesel. He's like,
You
that's
don't
a
know
lot
how
of
many
soot on the
people
back
have
of
been
the car
like,
there.
something's wrong with the car. I'm like, oh my god, like it's smoking out the back. I'm like, holy shit!
What?
Like,
Oh, whoa.
well, and they're like, just a whole bunch of black smoke came out. I'm like, oh,
Oh, it's
that's it? Yeah, we're fine.
There
We're
was one
fine.
time, so
Direct injection life.
I had been like babying the Mustang because the rear axle was making a bunch of noise because I was having a failing carrier bearing.
I remember.
Well,
So
that
I
was
had been
and that was also on the way
babying.
back from Georgia.
Well, when I was in Georgia, I had been babying this thing, right? Never really pushing it past like quarter throttle, just kind of tooling around.
Getting
And I
on
fixed
it,
the
fix it.
axle. And the next morning I was driving to work. I'm like, all right, I need to break this thing in and I need to open this thing up. And I got on it really hard through second and third.
And you
And I
look
looked
behind
behind me and there is just this
Black
giant
smoke.
black cloud. And I'm like, did that come out of my car?
Yep.
Oh, I really needed to open that thing up.
Yeah.
Just all the soot burned out of it all
Oh,
at
it's one of
once.
those. One of my favorite things to do is probably about 50 miles per hour, having in sixth gear, just about
Just
2,000,
You just hit the blip it, and
2100,
you just big
and
instant
just-
black cloud.
and
It's
just-
like a quick roll cold.
just go floor it, watch the boost gauge go ping, and just
let off and look behind you.
just all of a sudden I look behind me and I don't see the car behind me, and then I see the car behind me go poof. I'm like, yeah.
Rolling coal is fun.
And that's the thing. Like, I'll see a truck do it, and I'm like, yeah, and they're like
Yeah,
I can
they'll
do
look
it
over
too.
like,
I
wait a
can do it
minute.
too.
I get the weirdest looks. And they're like, wait, what?
like I can do it too.
So what's another dealio, schmealio, topico?
Well, somebody else commented asking, and they were asking like specifics on like VIN codes and all that stuff, but it was about what Mustangs came from the factory with forged internals. And so they were asking like, was it like Y code, like you could tell in the VIN and all that stuff, and they didn't give like a specific year and all that, but I'm pretty sure because the video that I asked it on had Mike Cobra in the background.
We're probably
and all
talking
that.
about the.
So they were I'm pretty sure they were talking about like that body style, but it also came to the point of I was thinking about it. I'm like, hey, how many through all the years, how many Mustangs came from the factory with forged internals?
I believe the 93 Cobra did.
Yep,
The
93
Cobra R
93
did.
Cobra, 93 Cobra R did, the Cobra 95 Cobra R's did, and
Any of the Texas block
I was about to
Cobras.
say anything with a Texas block has forged internals.
Not anything.
Well, any of the Mustangs,
Mustangs,
yes.
with the Texas blocks.
because your Mark 8 had a Texas block in
But
it,
it was
non-
cast
and that but it was
cast
not
internals.
forged internal. Yeah, but and that's
Terminator Cobras.
Yep.
did they have the forged internals or
Yeah.
did they have the cast internals? No, they had
No.
the cast heads.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
had
it
the,
was.
they had
the
that iron
ca-
block
yeah,
aluminum heads.
and that's what they did because
they
of the
had
boost.
forged
Because of the
internals.
boost. Yeah, because of the boost. But it's one of those.
And
is
the,
like,
and the reason why is because at that point, Texas was no longer making the
Yep.
aluminum blocks. Right after '98, so starting in '99, the 4.6 aluminum blocks went in-house with Ford rather than through Texas, and they couldn't handle boost like a Texas block. Texas block.
Right.
If you get like the engine that's in his Cobra right now,
if you actually had it when
when they were
good
new,
space.
when they were new, you could throw a boost at one of those things and make 1,000 horsepower before anything was coming apart. On stock internals, stock block,
Right.
you might have to put head studs on
Yeah,
it.
you'll have to do that
Head
stuff.
studs and gaskets, but other than that, like I said, the block and the rotating assembly would handle 1,000.
Right.
Keep in mind that was an engine that the engine itself debuted in '93 in the
with
Mark 8 with cast
with the
internals.
Mark 8 and then also with the Lincoln Continental.
Yeah. Actually, was it in the first Continentals?
Yes.
Because I know they eventually got them, but no,
Yeah.
those engines were the Texas block with cast internals. But then when it came in the Mustang in '96, forged internals, and that block with those internals could handle 1,000 with just head studs and gaskets.
Because they're really good. They're really light, but goddamn, if something happens to them, you're fucked.
Yes.
You're-
Yeah.
Well, boys, we're fucked.
So yeah, the aluminum
That's what
the
happens.
aluminum 4.6 block did live on in Mustang Cobra, the naturally aspirated Cobras, Lincoln Aviator,
Yeah, and the Aviator was one of the few
the Mach 1, and the Marauder.
Well, Mach 1 with the 5-speed. If you had the automatic with the Mach 1, you had the cast internals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that. So there
Well,
was...
I was talking about just the
Well,
aluminum
yeah.
block
Well,
in general.
well, there was a difference because if you had the Mach 1 with an automatic, you had the cast internals.
Well,
not the-
yeah, you had the cast internals with the Marauder
Yeah.
and with the Aviator and
yeah.
all that too.
It was
so.
just something for some reason. If you got an automatic, you did not get the forged internals, and that, and
The torque snap.
Yeah, that's
They must have done the forged internals because they knew with a manual transmission,
Yeah.
the crank would be seeing higher loads.
Yeah.
Because with an automatic, you're pretty much kind of putting a steady load on the
Yeah.
on the end of the crank. But with a manual, you're spiking it constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying the Texas block. Asking about the forged internals. Yeah, the Texas blocks in the Mustang had the forged internals. What else? What else did? Because I know one of the big complaints when they went to 93 or the 94 with the 302 was they had added the hyper-eutectic pistons.
Yeah, they're basically cast.
Yeah.
And also with 94, they added that damn elbow, because the way they ended up doing the engine bay and all that stuff, they ended up adding that elbow to the intake.
Wasn't just the
And
elbow, it was the whole upper
Yeah.
intake plenum was different. It was from the Thunderbird and it
Yep.
restricted power.
Because you had that, the way the airbox went, it like, over, and they actually lost power from the 93 to the 94 because it went from a 220,
225.
yeah, 225
To
to
205.
205, yeah. Just from that. And that's when they were like, yeah, we're going to put the 4.6 in there. And then people lost their shit because, oh, there's 2 cams in that. And that same year, they're like, hey, hold my beer. We're putting 4 cams in there. And they're like,
You put the cams up above it. Why are you doing that?
Stop putting all the dang on cams in the
And you lost 0.4 liters of displacement.
because my red line just went from 5,200 to
7,200.
7,200.
Right.
Because that's what people don't realize. Like, when they get into the Cobra and they look at the tach, they're like, is that aftermarket? Like, no. They're like, well, shouldn't that be, like, because on the 86, like, their yellow starts at fucking 42, and a red starts right at 5. Well, that bitch has seen way past that, but still, it starts right there.
It's not making any power up there. Though.
No,
Right.
no.
It's
Past
it's
3,000, it's one of those, and that's why a second gear burnout is perfect for it, because you sit at 2,500, you're making almost peak fucking torque and peak fucking horsepower. Anyway, you get into the Cobra, and it's like, first gear, instantly, you're going 15, it's winding up to almost $4,000, and they're like, well, I'm like, no, like, it's 72. Like,
Yeah.
my engine basically has VTEC. And they're like, what? It's like, once you go past 3,200, the second set of the
The
valves
intake,
go...
no, it's not the valves, not the HUD. The IMRCs. No,
VTEC.
No, we're gonna be
VTEC!
No. We must be accurate.
My car has VTEC too.
Thank you.
I have that.
Yeah! See?
You can really hear it in my car though, because
We have VTEC.
You can actually hear it in my car. You can hear
the
the
intake go open.
Oh, yeah, no, with the
um,
Cobra, you can.
The secondary runners.
Yeah, you...
not the secondary runners. It's the
cam phasers. 'Cause that's all there is in your car.
no.
Cam phasers and the intake flaps.
Well, it's the intake flaps, but it's the charge motion.
Yeah,
You
Very-
can
variable
hear the
charge.
charge motion plates open up.
Isn't it nice in the
When it
intake
pops
breathe
past
more?
about 3,000 RPMs, you hear it kind of, and it
Yeah.
picks up all of a sudden.
Yeah, in his car there were intake manifold runner control.
Yes.
Yes,
Well, that's
that's-
because it's secondary
And you
intake.
can hear them,
Well, it's
especially
cool, like-
when you're under load. You can hear it. It's...
Oh,
So
yeah,
in
well,
his car, because it's a secondary intake plug.
yeah.
You have 2 lengths of intake runners that swap back and forth.
Yeah.
On mine, it's just the charge motion plate.
Yeah, and
And
mine's
it
got
sounds
that just
cool.
at the bottom. It like you go in mine, and it's like it goes with a soft like whistle. It's like, shh, and then you hit like 3,500. Goes. Shh. Even if you stay low on the throttle and don't make boost, the sound just gets so
Yeah.
much
Yep.
more.
Well, and then also mine runs through the recirculative and all that, so all of a sudden I have...
So we ready for a second beer? It's getting kind of late.
Well, Brian isn't, but
Well, I can get there.
I'll let one of y'all pick it.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
I can get there.
Okay.
Alright. Chris, you go pick.
I'll
Pick
go
one.
get morning glow or evening glow.
Well, do you want that? Do you want Hogtown? Whatever you want.
Hogstown before, so we'll do evening glow. Cause we
It
haven't done
doesn't
that.
matter.
But we haven't done evening glow.
I've had both, so whatever you want.
Have you had evening glow?
Yes,
I have not had evening. I have not had evening.
Don't
Not
think
not
any of
on,
us-
not on the show, but
None
I
of
have.
none of the other guys have had
Okay,
evening glow.
okay.
Evening glow. Let's do
I think I have.
I don't know if I don't think.
Evening glow, frozen world
Yeah,
like
morning,
water.
yeah, we had. Yeah, we had morning glow, and that was.
I'm very
a coffee
happy
glow.
Mike's the only one watching because, like, everybody, if they just joined in now, they'd be like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
I don't even know what we're doing.
Evening glow.
Evening glow, and I swear they put a face. Boom, wow, wow.
And copyright. Audio is now muted.
Well, no, well, oh shit, we did sing
Hey,
it just like Eddie Vedder.
No, not,
We did just sing it just like Eddie Vedder.
even Eddie Vedder doesn't know the lyrics. Actually, what I would like to do is I want to give mad props to the lizard because he's still chilling. By the way, up there.
Yes,
Yeah, that little guy is unflappable.
No, he's sleeping. He's
That
passed
last
out.
little sip was like super sweet.
Of what?
Of the
I think there might have been
The
floaties.
citrus grove.
I think there might have been floaties in that were nesting
We
at the
probably
bottom.
should have done this one first.
that's all right.
Woo! Wait, hold on.
yeah.
Am I reading that correctly? I have definitely not had this. Vanilla coffee blonde ale with chocolate?
Yes.
What? What?
So this one's from Swamp Head. None of apparently only
Ooh,
one of us
smells
have
like
had
white
this.
chocolate.
Yeah, sorry.
This is Evening Glow, a vanilla coffee blonde ale with chocolate.
No, it's been
which
about
is
2 years
a
though.
5.3% alcohol by volume beer.
I th-
And we've got a description here. Let me read us in here. Evening Glow, vanilla coffee blonde ale with chocolate. An evening sunset glimmers with the soft glow of golden perfection. Hazy rays of sunshine dip below the horizon, signaling the end of another beautiful day in Florida. Make your evening glow with our vanilla coffee blonde ale with chocolate. We've gently infused a delicate blonde ale with Madagascar vanilla beans, locally roasted blonde coffee, and chocolate, creating a smooth, easy drinking blonde ale with just the right touch of sweetness.
That's interesting. A coffee blonde.
Yeah!
Well, Morning Glow was a coffee blonde. It just didn't have the chocolate or the vanilla in it.
True.
Morning Glow was a vanilla porter, wasn't it?
There be
Or
floaters in.
vanilla.
No.
There be
or
a
vanilla
lot
blonde
of
ale.
floating
Yeah, evening-
things
yeah,
in there.
Morning Glow was a coffee blonde.
Holy
Yeah.
catoli.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Look at the floaties
Brian.
in
That
that.
looks like
Oh my God.
there's sea monkeys in the aquarium.
Right? That's
What?
a lot of floaties.
No, you know what this reminds me of? Remember the early 90s drink Orbits?
Yes.
It's
It looks
Orbits!
like Orbits. or was it Orbits or Orbeez?
One of those.
Orbeez or something like
Anyway, hold on.
Like it almost looks like gelatin.
They don't move if you shake it.
That's.
They don't move if you shake
I forgot
it.
who actually manufactured this, but at one point,
I'm
Motley Crue had some type of weird blue energy drink, something called Motley Brew, and it had floaties floating around in it. And I just looked at it and went, "No, I think I still have
Oh
it."
my
unopened."
god.
that. That is. Hold on.
What?
What the fuck?
That does not taste like it looks.
Not at all.
You're expecting
That
almost
almost
an
tastes
IPA, like you look at it, you're expecting almost an IPA taste from it,
And it's not. It's
and then
almost
you get like
like
almost a stout taste from
yeah.
It's almost a
Oh
dessert
my-
beer.
That's amazing.
You know, it tastes like vanilla cream and milk. To be honest.
Yeah, like that is rich.
That hurts a little bit. That's really messed up like perception. Like seriously.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
If I tasted this, and I've had it before, but it's been at least 2 years since I've had it. If I was blindfolded and tasted this,
You're
I
like,
would think,
oh, you
like,
put like
yo,
some
it's-
sweet cream
no,
in my
no,
milk.
no. I would have been like,
That's a dark beer.
it's really
Mhm.
dark. It's a stout. Like it's a really dark, vanilla-y.
It even tastes thick, but it's not.
Are
thick.
you gonna be able to see through it? No, you're gonna put a light to it. You ain't gonna see through it.
Oh my
There it is.
gosh, dude.
Here it is.
Really
Something.
good.
Chris, I think that's one of the best beers I've ever had.
Now, if you had this poured in front of me without me tasting it, I'd be like, this is gonna be citrusy.
Or it's
Very
gonna be, or it's gonna be
light.
like a heavy wheat beer.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Well, like
so
a heavy
What-
wheezing.
What is happening?
Chris is taken so far. Sabrina.
She's had it.
She has? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, but
Hold
Hold on.
on.
Shelby has to taste it.
Sabrina and Shelby, get out here.
Somebody needs to try this like from an outside perspective because it doesn't taste like beer.
Are they coming?
Yep.
Sorry, guys, we need a woman's choice.
Don't tell
Alright.
them.
No,
Don't even.
just try it.
Sabrina,
Just try it.
taste that.
Okay. What is it?
Just try it.
Just try it.
Try it.
Yeah.
Is that not amazing?
Good. It's pretty good.
It
It's
doesn't match.
It's like vanilla.
It
It's
looks
chocolatey.
like this is gonna be something citrusy and bright, and then it's like this.
Or
dark,
IPA, and then
rich,
it's got floaties in it, and you're like,
called
oh.
Evening Glow.
Oh,
It's
Oh.
vanilla coffee with white
Yeah.
chocolate.
That's pretty good. It's good.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
job.
Mind-blowingly good. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think we're a little more mind blown. Anyway,
Huh?
I think we were a little more mind blown.
We're a little more
Cheers.
mind-blown.
Aren't
That shit's
we normally,
delicious.
Hey, aren't we more mind blown
Always.
usually?
Come in for another one. That is proper.
Hi guys.
I'm very glad that I picked that
Hi
up.
Chris.
Yes,
Me too.
Me too.
Because
That is
oh
delicious.
wow, that's good.
You find that at ABC?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be finding it there again.
I'm
Hopefully,
probably going to as well.
I'm gonna have to get another one of these. Because wow.
Yeah, that's really
Just
Sorry, I just
wow.
heard Sabrina yell. I forgot I had wine.
That's amazing. Swamphead, guys,
Oh my god.
Oh. Total Recall.
recalls.
So Ford
I just
has,
recalled.
So Ford has issued a recall for a little over 1,000 vehicles, apparently with a 10R80 transmission, because they found extra bolts in them.
Extra
Like,
bolts.
Missing
inside
bolts
of
and
them?
extra bolts inside of them.
So somebody on the line is literally just going, I don't need that.
So they went from a 10 speed to a
No speed.
no speed.
Well, to a no park.
So they're basically what they're doing is they're doing their GM part of it and making them all neutrals.
I don't know if they have all neutrals, but they definitely end up missing a part.
Well, it's always
'cause what I
you
understand-
never
So they're
have
doing
all
the Dodge thing.
you never have all
Yeah, from
neutrals.
what I-
It's
from
one of
what I
those you go,
understand
hey,
is-
hey, neutral.
What
Oh,
I
fuck.
understand is that they found it kind of during an audit. They kind of noticed this thing, and then they kind of figured out which cars had the deal. And apparently, one car was having a service concern of in park, and then the car would still roll. But
That's
also,
never a good thing.
no. But
Well,
also,
Hey, my car, you put the e-brake on it, it still rolls.
yeah, but it didn't come that way. You just sort of neglected it to that point.
No, I replaced everything in it, and it still fucking rolls with the e-brake on.
Adjust your cables.
I did,
He
all
doesn't-
the way out.
he- Can't pull
That
it
means you
hard enough.
replace the cable.
No,
I did.
no, he
And
can't.
it doesn't.
He can't pull it hard enough.
It wasn't. Yes, that the parking brake in those cars were not designed for children.
Sorry, Mike.
The look on his face was literally just, you know
Do
what?
not backtalk me, young man.
He's gonna light me on fire.
The look
Hey.
on your face was literally just.
The
"Fuck you,
fire only
Brian."
emerged for a little while.
Thanks. I know you're a pro. Thanks for the advice.
But also, Tesla has recalled 362,000 older model cars
Yupper.
because they've had some issues with the full self-driving beta software not really being compatible with those older cars, and the fact that that software drives just as shitty and illegal as the rest of us do.
Well, you know, Ford hasn't announced a recall yet because they're still investigating a remedy, but they've halted production of the F-150 Lightnings
Battery issues.
due to a battery fire
Yes,
issue.
that's right. Yeah.
So they were.
So the guy
They
that.
shouldn't have been the
Yeah,
Lightning.
the-
It should have
the
been the
one
Ford
light-
Inferno.
The one Lightning that bricked itself
No.
while plugging into a charger was just the beginning.
Thunderstruck.
No. What Ford should have done for that truck was they should have looked into a licensing agreement with Renault and see if the Fuego.
Oh,
yeah.
no!
How's that for pulling one from the
As
past?
soon as you started saying Renault. The
I mean-
F-150 Fuego.
I mean, it is Ford. They're no stranger to, unexplained fires, so this isn't anything
Oh, actually,
new
no.
for
Actually,
them.
a lot of those Fords, the fires were explained.
What,
It
the
was
rear end crashes?
It was no. It was the brake sensor pressure switch.
Well, before that,
I was
it was
talking
the
about the
bolts on the
Pintos.
rear axle.
And
Then it was
before
the brake
that,
pressures.
no,
There's a lot
before
of
that, it was
The Pinto.
it was where the fuel tank was positioned over the exhaust that would rupture and pour straight onto the exhaust and catch on fire.
My favorite right now, there's actually a recall on regular F-150s for... There's a zip tie that didn't get cut off at the factory.
Is it on the drive
rubs
shaft?
on the drive shaft.
No.
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 So it's just the tail of a zip tie that will lay down across the drive shaft, right? Drive shaft's made of aluminum.
I was going to say, that's going to wear through
And it will
the
literally
drive shaft.
wear
Machine it.
itself through
Yeah.
the drive
That
shaft.
Okay.
That plastic, yeah. Not, that,
Never
'cause the aluminum
never
doesn't heat it up
underestimate what a soft material
enough. Can do to a
can
hard
do to a
material.
hard material.
Well,
and-
aluminum's not like it's a soft hard
So
material.
so you have a
Compared to a zip
soft
tie.
material of aluminum versus the hard material of a zip tie.
Yes.
So
Like that's what you're
In
saying?
the competition between a zip tie and aluminum,
I
the
have my
zip
money
tie
on zip
actually
tie.
does win.
I have my
Well,
money
especially
Because
on
I've
zip
seen
tie.
that
videos
scenario.
now of guys going, this is a ridiculous recall. How could it ever cut through the drive shaft? And the drive shaft is literally dangling.
Well, it's rotational friction.
Right.
You've seen the videos of the guys who will take grinder wheels and make paper grinder wheels and cut through wood?
Yes.
It's rotational friction. It's Yeah.
So obviously back in my two-legged days working at a boat company that is no longer around, there was a model of the boat that used to be a full, like, inboard. And when I started working there, they no longer made the inboard models, and I found out why. Digging around through the parts bin, I found a pair of prop shafts, like proper, steel, chrome, prop shafts. And I noticed that there was an area where it would sit in the strut, and the cutlass bearing was there, which is sort of a water-cooled bearing that the strut turns in.
Right.
That in the strut that the shaft would turn in, and then you have the propeller hanging out behind it. Well, these had two perfectly machined grooves in them.
Oy.
And what it wasn't that. It was the stuffing box where the penetration through the hull where they came through. So on the stuffing box, the shaft goes through it, and usually inside the stuffing box, you take a length of rope and you'll cut a circle. And just like piston rings, you have a groove on one side, a groove on the other side, groove on one, and you'll the whole thing. And then when you tighten it down, this waxed rope is a water seal. It allows the prop shaft to spin, but it doesn't let water go through it,
It's almost
or a
like-
very minimal amount of water.
It's
go
like
through
Ford Model T water pump sealing.
So this
right
is
there.
a very important, like I said. Well, somebody, instead of doing the piston ring thing, they just took a piece of rope and just went crammed it all together. As the shaft spun, that rope tightened up, and it eventually machined the shaft, and that boat sunk at the dock.
Oh my gosh.
And it ended up being a warranty repair
That's wild.
because it machined from one side a quarter-inch down from the shaft surface down to it. And then when they parked the boat, water just poured in through the stuffing boxes, and the boat sunk at the dock. Because more water was coming in than the bilge pumps could handle.
Well, since his boat sunk, maybe he can get some insurance money and bid on a car.
Yeah.
I happen to have one.
Is it from a bidding website that has to do with cars?
It is indeed.
And bids?
And cars?
So
And
this
bids?
would be.
Or do we
.com.
have to bring
So
a
this would
trailer?
be wrong. It's not.
The bat car is right.
It's not the bad car. It's the cars and bids cars.
The cars,
right?
cars and bits.
But
car.
I'm too lazy to change the text.
Cars
so
and bits is
here
right.
We go.
So yeah, this would be one
Well,
of the...
no, hey, instead of it's not bring a trailer, it's the
Car.
The
The-
bid a car.
Bid-
Bid a
The
tar.
car.
The
Bid
bid
a
a
tar
car.
car.
Yeah.
Yay.
It's
It's
stupid.
a car.
Yeah.
I can't.
So, what I have for you guys to bid along with today is a 2000 Isuzu Via-Cross.
Oh, I love
Via
those.
crosses.
I love these things.
Yo, who in Citrus County has one? Oh, what?
Can't
the-
remember his
They're-
name. It's a black one.
I've seen the black one, and a
Is
couple
it-
of years ago,
Christian-
Yellow one too.
a couple of years
Christian
ago, there was
something.
also
Christian
a
Roy,
red, white,
right?
and blue one.
Maybe.
There
Works
used
up
to be a
at,
red, white, and
Rural
blue one
King.
that was rolling
I
on
think
methods.
so. Yes.
Like,
Really?
I love everything about this car because they are so weird.
So the one in our county
And
that I know
strange
of
looking.
is
It's like a
fully,
spaceship.
is fully black bedline. The
I like
entire
them
thing
wheels.
is black bedline, and I love it.
I like the wheels they have on it. It's not stock.
Like,
wheels.
it's so
I remember
luggage
see, I remember
cargo
seeing
things.
these on the dealership floor and going,
And the Iron
no
Man
way.
edition.
no way,
Iron Man.
no way.
Those things are so cool.
So what we have here is a 2000 Isuzu Via-Cross, 4-wheel drive V6 power, Recaro front sports seats, and some modifications.
Don't say they were basically a 2-door modified rodeo, right?
Pretty much, more or
Yeah.
less.
Underpinnings wise, yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, more or less. So this one has 162,000 miles, 3.5 liter V6, 4-wheel drive, automatic. Silver metallic, black gray interior, clean title. It is in Raleigh, North Carolina. It is being sold by a dealer. Clean Carfax, 18-inch chrome wheels, limited slip differential.
Where is it located?
Aluminum monotube,
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Modifications reported by the seller are limited to a set of oversized BFG all-terrain TAKO2 tires, Magnaflow muffler, and a Pioneer head unit.
Well, they put an exhaust on it. I wonder how it
Oh,
sounds.
and it's funny because Chris listed that, and it was at the moment of the engine, so it looked like his gasket
Only
was
4,153 examples were produced for the U.S. market produced between 1999 and 2001. Power comes from 3.5 liter V6 rated at 215 horsepower and 230 foot-pounds of torque.
I always liked
Well, how
them.
many
They were
miles?
so.
162.
162.
162.
Usually every
But
vehicle.
look at
well,
the interior.
thing is about
though.
them. Yeah,
So
the Via
so-
they're like Brigos, Chris. Like they're always super well taken care of.
Yeah.
So, known flaws. Damage on left corner of front bumper cover, which it looks like it just scraped something. Some damage on the roof box, that's an aftermarket piece, so whatever. Scratch on the left rear quarter panel, scratches on the right front fender, which if it's been off-road, not a big deal. Some creases in the
Inside
leather
steering
and
fine.
wear on the steering wheel and the shift knobs.
8.8.
Which is normal wear
December
and tear.
December 2022
I love the
was
front
serviced,
wheel
got
bump.
PCV hose repositioned, throttle position sensor replaced. July it got an nth service, engine oil and filter change, fuel tank, module, seal, CV boots, pinion seals, automatic transmission pan gasket, oxygen sensor, fuel pump, and transmission filter replaced. And that's what we got there. Selling dealer reports the following additional work was completed and invoices available on request. Has a new AGS module, shaft seal, rear pinion seal replaced, like it just covered. Both differentials and transfer case serviced. It does say it's a repaint, and that the front seats have been reupholstered.
I don't care. But the thing is it's so quirky and is so late 90s, early 2000s, where we are finally hitting that nostalgic part. I'm gonna say, and I know what you were gonna say, I'm gonna say 9400.
Yeah, 8.8 for me. 8,800.
See, to
Until
quote a TikTok sound, I think this car has been too silly and or goofy. And I think I'm going to bid 5,000.
5,000. 9,400.
Yeah, 94.
8,800. Yeah.
10.7.
Really?
10.7.
Wait, hey, it's the 2000s, baby. Y2K. Let's do it. Let's do it. Bring back those J bodies with the fucking 2.2 liter Jackson superchargers on them. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Look how excited Mike is.
I love that stuff.
I love that's like those are awesome cars. I think that thing was so
Oh, those
cool.
things
It
are
was
so
so far
cool.
ahead of its time. It's still ahead of its time today.
Chris, it's
Nobody makes a car like that.
Chris, it's one of those. Remember how a couple years ago when we first started this, it was all for the late 80s, early 90s cars that were starting to come in and all that. Now
And
we're
then
starting
those
to move.
cars have gone absolutely batshit crazy.
It's
and
because we're
now-
getting older.
And now, like, early 2000 stuff's going to start going
We're getting
crazy.
older.
Well, it's because the early 2000 stuff is now what's affordable.
Right.
No, it's one of those. Finally, the people that remember that in their fondest when they were younger kids and all that, of what they saw and what they wanted, they now finally are getting money and all that, and they're finally able to buy this stuff that, hey, I saw this when I was a teenager.
And I wanted one, so
I
now
wanted
I'm going
one.
to have
Now
it.
I finally have the money to buy. Like, hey, I have a stable job. I have all this stuff. I'm gonna buy a recreational vehicle. I can finally do this. That's now the stuff that's being bought. And
See the price?
no,
What the fuck?
where is it?
No way.
Somebody.
What?
More. There's.
No
Yeah.
way.
Is that Chinese dollars?
Is that
Is
in
that Australian
pesos?
Is that Australian dollars?
Is that because of the balloon?
Is that pesos? What? No.
Okay.
There's no way somebody paid $87,000.
No,
for
that was
car.
92, right?
87.
Oh, sorry. I need my glasses checked.
I guess so.
I went and investigated the comments, and after I got past all of the...
Was that on Carson Biz or?
No, that was
Pringles?
Bring a
Bring a
Trailer. There was a stark fight. I watched it between the guys. The car was sitting around 30 and change, and everybody kind of thought the auction was going to plateau. And these two dudes fought all the way to $87,000.
God.
And now everybody's like, oh, everybody with a Golf that's got low miles is going to ask, it's
Yep.
going to crash the Golf market, this,
Yep.
that, and all that. And
Okay, now there's a little bit of that I saw, and
Whoa.
it was a.
Hello.
I did that too.
Veloster.
Sounded good though.
It did.
We heard it blow up out.
So,
Yeah.
Two Legs sent me a
Squirrel.
Facebook Marketplace listing a few days ago, and it was of a was it the AE92, the front wheel drive Celica right after the AE86.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
Not
Corolla.
Celica, the Corolla, the front wheel drive Corolla,
Corolla.
right after the
892.
80. Yeah, the 890. It was one of those with
But
130 something thousand
had
miles
one
on
of
it.
the best fucking motors in it. Even though it was front wheel drive, they had one of the best fucking motors in it.
It was a manual car, but it was otherwise bone stock, and they wanted $10,000 fucking dollars for it.
That's a little asinine.
I'd say probably
I'd-
7 if it was in decent enough shape. Because
And on that depressing note,
that motor
Right.
was really good though.
Okay, but still, no, that car's not worth $10,000. That car sold for $8,500 brand new.
Inflation.
Not even inflation.
It's still a front wheel drive Econo box.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I'm not paying 10 grand for that.
what, the Toyota Corolla or the Geo Prism?
Yeah, either one of
Oh,
those.
it's the same car.
Either
Um,
one of those.
Because I paid 22 for my
But the Geo Prism was available with that engine.
It had the super sweet fucking ghetto ass.
You could put
The emblem, the Geo
individual
emblem. I
throttle
love that
bodies
emblem.
on that car
It's
and make
true.
it sound like Takumi Fujiwara.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys,
All right, guys.
we gotta end it.
Yeah, I guess we do.
You guys have a good night. We're gonna stop the stream here.
We'll be
and,
back in 2 weeks.
We'll be back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Have a good one.
Have a good
Cheers.
night. Cheers.